Welcome back to the channel. This is my unbiased, no hype view on crypto. I don't care what you buy, I just want you to be informed about what you buy. This is the type of information or news, announcements that really shift the fundamentals of crypto as well as lead to mass adoption. But now most people aren't gonna pay attention, and the reason why is many of them are too busy buying NFTs and cryptocurrencies that they have no clue what they actually do. So it was recently announced, and I actually read this in the Wall Street Journal, there's a lot of articles on it out there, that Fidelity, which is the nation's largest retirement plan provider, is going to allow the companies which use them for their employees' retirement plans, offer their employees the ability to be able to invest in Bitcoin through their 401k. Now, before you start thinking, haven't I heard this before, or hasn't this been talked about? Well, of course it has. It's been talked about by some smaller companies. There's been a lot of mentionings throughout the years about when this would actually happen. But what's important to remember about this one is we're talking about the largest employee retirement plan provider in the nation, the US that is. That's a lot of employees. When I say that's a lot of employees, well, let's just look at how many companies that is. 23,000 companies. So you can only imagine how many employees stem from those companies. A lot of employees that will have an opportunity, but I'm gonna explain more in depth. This really shouldn't come as a surprise, or at least it didn't to me, because Fidelity's already made their way towards the metaverse. Check this out.
Introducing the Fidelity Stack, only in Decentraland. It's not our first metaverse rodeo, but we are the first brokerage firm to have an immersive educational metaverse experience. The Fidelity Stack is gamified, interactive, and educational, where you can learn about the metaverse, investing basics, and our new Fidelity Metaverse ETF. So drop in.
So as you can see, Fidelity's already been associated with crypto, but let's get to it and let me explain exactly what this means and how big of a deal this is. Fidelity administers plans with more than 20 million participants, more than 2.7 trillion under administration. Now that's a lot of money, obviously. You take that amount of participants and you give them exposure to Bitcoin, and later to come, I would imagine, would be other types of cryptocurrency. We need mass adoption. That's basically what everyone's been waiting on. And that's gonna happen one way or another. But where you make it where people are a little more eased about getting into it because it's more of a long-term plan, rather than hopping into crypto and getting the brake speed off of you, it really will change the game. Now, this isn't gonna happen right away. This is expected to happen later this year. And yes, there's a lot of other companies that actually don't think that the employers that are working with Fidelity currently are gonna wanna even take hold of this and allow their employees to participate in it. But I will tell you to remember this. Why do you think this is an option in the first place? Because someone is asking about it. And though it may not be the employers, if it is the employees, sooner or later, the employers are going to offer it. Now that's just my take. I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm just really giving you my take on the matter, but it's important that you know how big of a deal this is because it is normalizing what we're seeing in cryptocurrency, and it's making it more of a household thing. In the article, the Wall Street Journal article, they mentioned a poll that had been done that actually asked employers, and there were 63 employers that participated in this poll. How many of them planned to offer some exposure to Bitcoin or cryptocurrency through the retirement plan? In that poll, out of 63 employers, 2% said that they plan to. So by looking at that, you can see the number does seem low, but we've seen how this thing has gone throughout time. We've seen banks that thought crypto was trash, now getting behind it, trying to create their own cryptocurrencies. So don't be surprised. This is a big deal, because obviously it's going to help us get to mass adoption. I've been in crypto for several years now, so I know how this is gonna play out. Fidelity is gonna offer this. It will slowly trickle and more employers will actually offer it to their employees. Then someone else will get on board. Will it be Vanguard? Who knows? We don't know that, but it's going to happen. That's how this always plays out. Meanwhile, we're waiting on regulation. If regulation comes, it's really gonna turn on the faucet. This is the type of information that you really have to pay attention to in crypto if you're thinking about investing in crypto long term. These are the things that make those who, take the upfront risk go to the top. It makes them go to the top. Why? Because they showed up to the party early. They also speculated that currently in the US that roughly 80 million individuals are invested or have been invested in cryptocurrency at some point. So that gives you an indication that more and more people are interested in cryptocurrency. I'd be flat out wrong if I didn't mention to you the company that is going to spearhead this whole thing, and that would be MicroStrategies, led by the Bitcoin savage, none other than himself, Michael Saylor. So I'm not surprised at all. He's been champion for Bitcoin hardcore since he got into it. So anyone who's spent some time in crypto at this point, certainly any fans of Bitcoin, definitely know who Michael Saylor is, so they will lead the charge on this. No surprise at all. This is how it's gonna go, and we'll wrap this up. Once this happens, it is going to start to spread out. None other than the way that El Salvador declared Bitcoin as legal tender, and that has been recently followed up. Somebody has to start. Fidelity's doing that, and it's going to get bigger and bigger. Now don't forget, there are some smaller companies who are offering that, but to the scale of Fidelity, absolutely not. This is major and it's gonna help with mass adoption. Thanks for checking out my content. Toss me a like, make sure to leave me a comment. It helps the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe and hit the bell for notification. And if you wanna check out some of my other content, check out these videos right here on PulseX and the metaverse or MetaHumans. And remember, tomorrow's wealth is built today.